Way up high, there's
The problem with having music is I might start singing. Okay, so now as soon as you do that, you cut off the music. So don't, you can play it from there, Simon, or play it just on the screen. But this is an experiment, you know, we're working on this with the music. So let's put that in the back.
Melanie, is that royalty free music?
It's from his YouTube channel, so I made sure it came directly from the artist.
Okay, because otherwise you'll have a problem uploading to YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've got it, and I will I'll drop the link in there for that. So if you go to the, maybe just turn it down just a smidge there. You'll find me. So there's links in the slide deck at the very beginning for the music that we picked. There's a few choices, and so we'll see how we can do this, but yeah. Okay, Juanita said the music's too loud. I can't hear Melanie, so now it's a little bit better, I think. It did get louder. And here comes Elise, Juliana, welcome. So we're just gonna get going here pretty quick. And put some stuff away here. Slide deck up. There is a slide deck. And Elise, welcome. And just wondering if you have your own slide deck, because if not, I have your proposals, the slide deck with your proposals on it, but I think you have your own, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And I'm going to make you co-host so that you can. Thank you. This was inspirational from Africa Town Hall. I was there, and they had this great music, and it's just the kind that you can't sit still to, right? And then it's like, okay, we got to start doing this with C4C. So here we are. And a birthday party is probably the best time to have some music too. So Elise, you are co-host. Nori, you like to be co-host. And let's see if we can do that. So it's funny because this song, Over the Rainbow, comes from a Disney movie, right? Wizard of Oz, and it became it became, you know, popular through that. This is an artist that comes from Hawaii that's taken in just beautiful songs. I was actually looking for Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, and this artist came up as well. So maybe that'll be for next week. But you know, this whole idea that we dream about blue skies and over the rainbow and looking for this vision of what our world could be. And you know, sometimes I think it doesn't look like that, but we can still have the vision, you know, and still work towards that, because I've been around long enough to recognize, you know, that things have been messed up quite a bit. But you know, with a group like us coming together, I think that we can actually make a difference. So yeah, that being said, I am going to try and I've lost Newman because he's traveling. Maybe Yoram, would you be able to share the slide deck? Would that work? Or do you need to have, what do you think? Or Nori, Cole's recording.
I can do that, although can you give me the link?
It's in the chat there. I think it just might make it a little bit easier to follow along. I've taken my GABA, which for those of you that are extreme introverts like myself and you get nervous public speaking, it's one of those natural things that helps calm you down. So hopefully it'll work. And Ben, there we go.
Let's do it.
Awesome. So Ben, I'm just thinking you're new, and welcome to our birthday party. It's kind of cool. Usually we have time to actually talk to new people that are coming in if it's a smaller crowd. Today we're going to get going, and oh, look at this. We had some birthday cards coming in from Latam. So it's our weekly meetup, August 31st, 2022. Next slide, please, Yoram. Or who's doing it, Yoram? We're celebrating. We got some cards in the mail. We got some cards in the email. And then the next one, next slide. Things have changed. You know, we got Twitter, we get birthday cards and birthday stuff coming in all over the place. It doesn't come in the mail like it used to. Next slide, please. So we decided, you know, it's our year 2 begins. We've been doing this for a year now as of August 27th. What are we going to do now going forward? Next slide, please. So this month we're going to celebrate each week for the next, in September, we're going to focus on something different, and we'll get a little taste of what's going on coming up. Next slide, please. So the agenda is going basically into the past, some updates, our first year, ImpactFest and mini ImpactFest, into the present where we're spotlighting proposals and Littlefish collaborations, our challenges that we want to show you, voter pick lists, lead generator we won't cover this week, we'll do that next week. And then we go into the future, what's the coming months looking like, including tomorrow, Latam Mini ImpactFest, Way of Council, reflection on C4C Year 1, upcoming video representation and impact at Cardano Summit. Next slide, please. So we always start these meetings with why we're here in Cardano, and we're drawn to Cardano because the mission is to make the world work better for all. And then within Cardano, there's this experiment. Next slide, please, Yoram. There's this experiment called Project Catalyst, an incubator, a fund for proposals. And their environment that we grow in is their goal is to provide a safe and lively environment for us to explore the highest potential in human collaboration. This is why we're here. We grow in this kind of environment. Next slide, please. Almost a year ago, we put in our first challenge, Climate Change the Challenge. And out of that challenge has grown a community. I took some numbers today. We're over 400 in Discord, 320 in Telegram. Twitter has 468 followers, and YouTube has 92. Just some numbers. Doesn't mean everybody's active, but the quality is definitely there. Next slide, please, Yoram. This is really going to keep you on the ball here, isn't it, Yoram? On the spot. So Cardano4Climate, our goal, our mission is to make the world work better for all people, animals, and the planet. Next slide, please. So C4C, the first year is coming soon. I don't know if Simon, if you've got the form ready yet. We're trying to put together a slide deck, maybe some music, some funny pictures, some things that have happened. If you've got something to add to that, please feel free to join in to do that. And then in this next month, we'll show you what we've come out of that. So just recently we had Mini ImpactFest and ImpactFest on August 11th. Seems like a month ago. Next slide, please. For those of you that maybe haven't seen this reel, Yoram, if you play it, did you actually optimize for video when you shared screen? Okay, so we don't have volume. You can stop share and reshare. It's a really quick, yeah, you know what? Let's not worry about it. We're gonna pile through. We'll share the link to the video in the chat. It's also in the slide deck. So you can go to the next slide. and I'll see if I can figure out where I am. And anybody else, like, it feels funny without Newman being here, but please feel free to jump in at any point if I'm missing anything. So where are we at? So ImpactFest, we had a lot of people come. We broke our Zoom, over 100 people. Josh came along and helped us stream to YouTube from WADA. And then Cole walked me through how to stream it as well. So we got it onto YouTube. And out of that, we had this idea, we got some great feedback and had the idea to continue it on in different time zones, different languages. So this was our first experiment, and I think it went pretty well. We had Africa Town Hall, we had European Town Hall. Last week, we did another mini Impact Fest at our own town hall. Pacific Town Hall had an impromptu Impact Fest. So the fact is, we're out there. People that care about impact are out there across this ecosystem. Next slide, please. And then for our next slide, yep. Latam, tomorrow, Latam Town Hall. We have 9 Spanish-speaking proposals presenting, 9 proposals presenting in Spanish, 2 in English. There is a form that hopefully somebody will drop in the chat for you to sign up and present. 21, it says 1830. Is that UTC? I thought it was 2130, but we'll check on that time. The Meetup link should be correct when you, 2130. Okay, it is 2130. So next slide. Thanks, Daniel. And Daniel, if you want to drop in the form, I'll also give you a chance to talk about Latam Town Hall towards the end. Event debriefing. Nori, do you want to talk about that quickly for next week? What we're going to do?
Remind me, there are so many events and debriefs.
Yeah.
Which event are we debriefing?
Miro, so this will be about Impact Fest and mini Impact Fest. We're going to do a debrief on Miro board.
Okay, so we did a debrief on the Impact Fest. So this will be for all the mini Impact Fests and different activities that happened afterwards, because there was a lot of spontaneous like flowering of the community to continue this for over a number of weeks. So that's amazing. So we really want to do a reflection to figure out what went really well, what are some opportunities for the next time, and come out with some action items. So we're kind of using a model of plan, do, and reflect. So this is the reflect part where we look at what happened and what we can do better next time to make it even more inclusive, more welcoming, better set of events. So join us. We'll be doing it on a Miro board, and it'll be facilitated, and then all the results will be shared. So please either come and take part and let us know what you're thinking, or stay tuned for the summary of that, like you saw in the previous slide.
Yeah, and then we also have feedback form. I just dropped it in the chat to fill in there. Whether you are a presenter, a participant, presenter at the main event, all feedback is welcome. And plus we have an open event planning Telegram chat. If you're interested in hosting these for yourself or figuring out what to do, you're welcome to join us there. Next event, please. Next slide, please. Project Catalyst, this is over to you, Yoram.
Yeah, so yeah, finally the app is working, and they found the bugs. I guess all of us got the message yesterday, and the voting is going to be on the 5th of September, if I'm not mistaken, and for the following 2 weeks. So finally, we get the voting of Fund 9. Many of us expected that. It gave us again some more time to do all this mini fest and impact fest and get more visibility. And as you all remember, we also put together all the impact list of all the impact related proposals in Fund 9. and I will share the links later on here in the chat. So we have them all. Basically, this is on the AIM platform, and also, as you all remember, at Lead Donation, inside you can search by impact proposals. So it's now this really our time now also to share it with between us, first of all, that we can see which proposals we want to support that are related to impact, and as also with other voters that we know that are impact driven, so they can see which proposal really have impact and support them. I think this is very, very important, because together we can really make an impact that more and more impact driven projects will pass. So and all of you, I mean, you know, it was enormous job. I mean, by Melanie Newman, all the team,
Yourself.
I think, to bring it, to bring that and have that visibility. One challenge there is there, and that's, you know, something we're trying to solve within Cardano4Climate in general in terms of collaboration, is that still, if you look on the budget here, because there are so many impact-driven proposals, which is great, in some challenges it's coming more than the challenge budget even.
We go over
Okay.
budget.
We go over budget.
This is the
And-
problem with limited funds and voting. There will be winners and there will be losers, guaranteed, no matter what. So yeah.
So this is the link for that, and you cannot do. But what I recommend also to everyone is, because of that, or in general, to build your own pick list. So from that top list, I mean, it's good that you vet and see which one you want to also vote for, and share it with others. And I think that can be interesting. And if you want to do that, you go. I will share the link, but you go to the AIM platform, voter platform, and then basically the way you do it, you look on a challenge. Let's say the challenge setting, and then within the challenge setting, you can look for different proposals, and then you can add it to your list.
So just
Okay, and
hang on a
then-
second. Is it blurry for everybody else or not? You just have
This is
to let
open
it
for
see.
everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
can do that, yeah.
No, it was just that when you scroll really fast, it goes blurry.
sorry.
So it's good now. So it's really good. So just, there we go. So there's the voter pick list. So you went into the challenge. You can pick by name, and then you can do your voter pick list. Will this give a
Yeah.
total at the end like they used
So
to?
let's see. So this one also I
This-
want to
yep.
add that. So if I go now to my vote pick list, and this is all the one that I already choose, I can see, I can see the total of what I choose. And if it will go over budget in a certain challenge, you will see that it's over budget.
Okay, just hold it there for
Okay.
a second. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we have a limited budget, for sure.
And then you can share it with people. But I recommend again for people then to, basically go and build from the impact proposals. I mean, the one you believe. I mean, obviously vote for all of them if you believe in, or make your pick list and then share with others. Let's try to bring as much voters to drive more impact. So just wanted to share that, and this is really things that we need to focus on in the next from this Thursday for the next 2 weeks. So it's not late. Take out, speak with people. Go out there, go into different sessions. Like yesterday, Littlefish was in the Gimbal Lab session. Get your proposal out there if you can.
Perfect. And so the next slide talks to that too. What can you do as a presenter with a proposal? Latam Town Hall tomorrow, still not too late to sign up for that. We've got Lido Nation that shows, has a Twitter space every Friday. AIM pick tool, next slide. Yeah, so Latam Town Hall tomorrow, 21:30 UTC. Cardano TV anytime. That's a great place to be interviewed, and Lido Nation. Right, and the voter pick list. make your
Yeah,
own.
Lead Donation, again, great resource to look for information. And now what they did in each proposal, which is impact proposal, when you look there, you can see actually that it's also, there is a tag that it's impact. It's also a very great way. Great job there.
Perfect. Yes. So each iteration, it gets better and easier to connect with us. Here's some links for those. Sorry, they look like they just ran all the way through. So today we are absolutely honored to have Elise Buckle from She Changes Climate as our proposal spotlight. And, you know, I went through this voter pick list. We came across 200 impact proposals. And in Idea Scale, I was reading this one and it's like, wow, this is really good. Who is this person? And I didn't really have a chance to get in deep. And then Juliana with the Women of Cardano group had a breakout room last Wednesday after town hall, and we got to meet Elise. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to make this connection with her. Elise, you have your own slide deck to share.
Yes.
If you want to stop sharing Yoram, and then
And this is
the
actually
thing.
a film that you can watch on YouTube.
That film, yes,
Yeah.
I'll drop those. I'll drop all the links to the proposals for one and the film. And this is
Yes.
what we did, you know, this time was we found these impact. I made all these different slides, you know, to help promote, because reading the proposal itself. The other thing, if you're going through proposals, check the comments, because comments will have other links, and hopefully our presenters have put in more links to continue with connections, ImpactFest, that kind of thing. So Elise, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, and thank you very much for being here.
Well, thank you so much, Melanie and Yoram, for your leadership. And I'm so grateful for being part of this community today. Thank you so much. So my name is Elise Buckle, and I've been working on climate for more than 20 years. So that's really a lifelong passion. I work for the United Nations, for companies, for the government, for NGOs. And recently, we started working on this very interesting nexus between climate and women empowerment. And actually, there's a lot of data and facts and figures showing that when you have 50% of women at the top and in all decision-making forums, you are actually delivering better results for finance, for companies, but also for emission reduction and for climate action and social equity as well. So this is how we started this initiative. First, we actually work with the COP26 presidency last year, the United Kingdom, because we found out that their leadership team was only men, white men from a certain age. And we do believe that when you have more diversity and inclusiveness, you have a better dialogue, and it's also easier to build trust with all parties that are negotiating in these UN summits. So we are continuing our work now with the COP27 presidency. We have a proposal with Cardano called COP27 Elevating African Leadership. The She Changes Climate is very much a platform of collaboration that we want to use to highlight the leadership of women who are developing solutions on the ground. We have a network of women entrepreneurs from Africa who are developing nature-based solutions for resilience, for local food production. And so we want to connect them with the ones who are in a position of power in ministries, but also with the COP27 presidency. So, so this is why we have this proposal. You can check the film as well. It's a 7-minute film. And our value is really that we think that women in all their diversity can lead a better climate decision for the world. And we also think that we have to do that by working together with men. So it's about men and women together. We are working in this with this philosophy of radical collaboration. Our idea is that we need to work together as one team for one planet, because it's about the future of humanity, and we believe we're all part of the same family. And so we are connecting organizations from around the world, asking for a better representation of women. in parliament, in government, and of course, within the COP27 presidency team itself. The president of COP27 is His Excellency Shukri, Minister of Foreign Affairs for Egypt. But we're also working now with Dr. Maya Morsi, who is an amazing woman from Egypt, president of the National Council of Women in Egypt, and also 3 ministers of Egypt, the Minister of Environment, Minister Yasmin Fouad, also the Minister of Finance and International Cooperation, to make COP27 a success. It's going to be the COP of Africa. So that's very important to give a voice to Africa. But I think you all know that there are natural disasters impacting people all around the world. So this is why it's also an equity issue. I'm sure you've heard the news about the floods in Pakistan right now. And so this issue of equity and social justice is also very important and very close to our hearts. And we believe that the Cardano community, because your community is very much based on democracy, on participation, on everyone having a voice by voting, you can also create change and accelerate investment in a way that governments would not be able to do that, or even just conventional banks would not be able to do that. So we count on you to support our campaign. This is very much linked to SDG 5, Sustainable Development Goal 5. Maybe you know there are 17 goals that have been adopted by all countries around the world. That was in 2015, same time as COP21 in Paris. And what is very important is that women are 14 times more likely than men to die in extreme weather events. So they are being impacted by climate change more than any other categories. This is actually also true for war. You may have seen that with the war in Ukraine, actually 90% of the refugees are women and children. And about 80% of climate refugees are women. Of course, climate are not just victims of climate change, they are also actors. We believe that they are change makers. But what is needed is also to empower them, to build capacity for them to have a political voice, but also finance. Only 2% of finance is going to women entrepreneurs. And so we believe that by catalyzing finance to empower women, we can also make some change in the economy. So these are just more figures showing that there's still a lot of work to do. Only about 10 countries have women as heads of states. 1/4 of parliaments have women as representatives. And actually in the climate negotiation, only 1/3 of the delegates are women. So there's still a lot to do there at all levels, at national and also at global level. So we have also a lot of data showing that when you have 50% of women in parliament, this has a big impact on national legislations. Actually, one example is Rwanda, where they have 65% of women who are members of the parliament. And you have other countries like New Zealand, where the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, has been doing a lot on climate to commit to carbon neutrality by 2050, but also to invest in health and education for youth and for children. So we do think that when you have women playing an important role as decision makers, they do care about future generations and the health of people and the planet. Not to say that this is not the case for men, but it's true that also if you look at peace, there's only one actually woman as a head of state that has started a war. It was Margaret Thatcher. Otherwise, there's been no war started by any female president or head of state. And so what we are also asking for is to make sure that women are also taking an important role in peace negotiations. If you look at the negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, most of the pictures we see in the media there are only men around the table, people from the army. When the World Economic Forum has shown that when women are involved in peace talks, a truce has a 63% more chance of lasting on the long term. So that's also very important for the nexus between climate and peace. And the war in Ukraine, we believe, is very much linked to climate because it's a fossil fuel dependency war, and that's also a big opportunity actually to invest in renewable energy, because now Europe has no other choice than phasing out fossil fuels. And so we think this crisis can also be a wake-up call and a very, very important moment in history to shift investment towards renewable energy sources. Catherine Howard, you might know her. She's in the film. She's quite an important leader in the UK, leading Share Action UK. They put pressure on companies through their shareholders. So it's kind of what you're doing now as well with Cardano in a different way, making sure people who invest their money in pension funds are asking for better corporate social responsible policies, for example, Barclays Bank and others. And as I say at the start, this is not a fight that we need to win just as women. It needs to be men and women together. You might know Yasmin Farhana. She's a famous negotiator. She was one of the architects of the Paris Agreement, originally from Pakistan. And she's also one of our big ambassadors, very much present on the social media. And with Farhana, we believe that women rise by lifting each other. This is why we want to convene the She Changes Climate online summit on the 4th of November, just 2 days before the start of COP, to bring together CEOs, ministers, and women entrepreneurs from Africa in particular, to really put their work under the spotlight and give them more visibility in the media and social media. We have partnerships with the Financial Times, with The Guardian. Last year, our campaign, the outreach went up to 154 million in the social media. So we believe that this year we can do the same or even better, also working with all of you as the Cardano community. Okay, I think this is all. The rest is our longer term plan, but I think our bid for Cardano is actually much smaller than this. It's a very modest and humble ask. And of course, we would like to raise more funds working with other partners. The good news is we have 1% for the Planet funding us. So this is very exciting. It was started by the CEO of Patagonia. And we are hoping that more companies will come on board. So we see Cardano very much as seed funding to grow our organization and develop our network. We are actually 3 co-founders, Bianca Pitt, Antoinette Vermier, and myself. All of us are working pro bono on this. So it's been a lot of work, but we really do this working from the heart. We are a small team, but very dedicated, very motivated. And we have 2 young ladies, Frances and Emily, who are working just 10 hours a week each, so not very much. So we're kind of spreading ourselves too thin there, because we have now a network of 400 women leaders, climate leaders from around the world. So we need to develop something a little bit more stable in terms of coordination so that we can work on the longer term. So that's where we are, and I would be very, very pleased to answer your questions. You can also write to us through this email address or find us on LinkedIn. We have quite a lot of followers and it's growing every day. So please feel free to reach out, but I'd be very happy to answer your questions now as well. And thank you so much for all your energy and time.
Beautiful. Now, why did we ask Elise to come? Any questions for Elise?
And happy birthday, by the way.
Oh. It's a celebration, definitely a celebration. Yeah, a lot of us have been working at this for only a year, and you've been doing organized in that way. So I did drop in all the links to the chat. The one video that you showed with the actress in it, that's the one, they're the 1-minute video, great introduction to She Changes Climate. The website, amazing. And I'm just looking forward to where this year 2 takes us with you. You said November 4th is an event. Can you just tell me a bit more about that and how could we support you in that?
Yes, actually, I had a call with Juliana on Monday on this. Very exciting. It's an online summit of women leaders, and the topic is about raising climate ambition. The reason why we are convening this summit online is that we want to make it very inclusive. The challenge with COP27 is that a lot of people want to go, but access is very restricted, especially this year in Egypt. There's been, I think they had received about 35,000 applications to attend the UNFCCC meetings, and they only gave 8,700 badges. So I'm very lucky because I will be accredited as the co-president of climate and sustainability. But a lot of people actually can't go, even people from Egypt and from Africa. So that's really a shame. So in a way, we are opening up an alternative space that is more inclusive to allow people from all around the world to participate, women in particular, but of course, men are more than welcome. We also want men as ambassadors of this campaign. We're working with the United Nations on this campaign called the He for She campaign. So you're all welcome. And it will start in the morning, featuring the Australian Climate Congress. Very impressive work there. You may have heard that there's been political change, and quite a lot of women climate activists have been elected to join the government. And of course, you know that there has been massive forest fires there as well. So they will start the day highlighting political leadership in Australia. Then we will cover all the geographical zones. So we will, in the middle of the day, will be Africa, the Middle East, and Europe together. And then moving on to North America, South America, and the Pacific in the evening. We want these sessions to be very interactive. So it will be a series of dialogues, 45-minute dialogues on the most important topics. So starting with energy, food, and finance. So there is one panel on finance where I think that's probably where Cardano would be the most relevant to participate. We will have the Rallying Cry, this network of women entrepreneurs from Africa, and the Financial Times as moderator potentially for this one. And so I could share I think I did share the schedule already with Juliana, but I can send you the link and we can connect on that offline. In any case, the summit will be public, and it will be on Zoom. So very simple technology, very user-friendly.
I have a group that I want to come to as well from the Pacific, from the west coast of Canada, Fairy Creek.
Oh, excellent.
There's a huge group, you know, so this is another, when you're talking about taking us around the world, I think there'd be a lot of us that would be able to help support you in that.
That's really great. There will be a session in the evening for us on what's happening in the Pacific, in particular on loss and damage for Pacific Islands, and with people from Hawaii who do very interesting work on peace, actually. But yes, it would be great to involve you and everybody else who wants to be part. We have actually moved the date from November 8th to November 4th, because on November 7th and 8th, there will be leaders gathering at COP27 with heads of states and ministers. And so we wanted to be 4 days ahead of them so that we can influence the messaging with our platform. So that's the whole idea. We want to be ahead of everybody else in a way, pioneers.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. It's kind of our plan because we have Cardano Summit coming up as well. And we have events coming up that's happening in middle of November, and we're doing a really big push with our impact community, because the community is impact for Cardano in this case in 2022. So
yes, and indeed, I mean, I was born in France. My husband is actually from British Columbia, and our kids were born here in Switzerland. I'm here near Lausanne, so I will most likely attend the Cardano Summit in November. So I would be super happy to meet you in person. I'd be happy to also talk about the COP27 outcomes. And yes, it would be so nice to meet in person there and hug each other.
It's very good. This is the future that I look forward to, the time Juanita as well too, right? Yoram?
Yeah, and I shared with all of you here at Twitter from today from Charles that he actually IOHK actually invested $11 million now in a woman entrepreneur from Kenya working on microfinance for women in Africa.
Nice.
So yeah, so this is basically the company, one of the companies behind Cardano. For you, Elise, to know, so you can look on the company and so on. So yeah, it's come along with you know, having great women leaders. And also here, I mean, looking into second year of Cardano4Climate, we definitely need more women involvement, right? I mean, so in this call there is a lot, and it's great, and we need more from that.
Beautiful. With that, we're going to move into our next part of collaboration is with Shakan and Littlefish. And I got to tell you, I'm so excited about this because Jem came into Cardano4Climate right from the very beginning. We had Cardano Summit come up last year, and it's like, oh no, let's get a video in. Jem worked through the night to create a video for us. We'll share it. It's on our YouTube channel. Absolutely, he blew me away, and I had no idea that you actually need 8 hours to, you can't just do something online, finish a video and send it. You actually have to, I can't remember what the word is, but it takes a lot of time to create amazing videos. With this gem, who is a gem in my heart, he's created and collaborated on Littlefish, which is a part offshoot of Cardano4Climate. And Shakan, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you. And if you don't know about Littlefish, I hope that you'll make more connections and reach out, because the work they're doing is very quiet, but incredibly deep and meaningful. So here we go, Shakan.
Thank you, Melanie. I'm very happy to be here. Like C4C has a special place in our heart. Like once we got started back in November, like most of the faces I see here were there when we got started. So always C4C is very near to our hearts. And can we open up the presentation maybe? So today I'm going to talk to you about our proposals for Fund 9, what we're doing, and then talk a little bit about how we're going to be collaborating in the very near future with C4C. So at Littlefish, we work on solving problems related to decentralized work. We want to make it fulfilling to the individual. We want to make decentralized work just work for all of us, make it as simple and approachable as possible. So you can think of us, at least in our current iteration, current form, as a decentralized autonomous organization that focuses on the organization. We want to make those structures, processes as simple as possible, as usable as possible, and as approachable as possible. Because the technology is kind of difficult. It is difficult to get into. As it says in the Catalyst slides, like, there is no documentation on it. So what we're doing is we're creating that documentation and making it very approachable to everyone. Meanwhile, we're also creating technologies to make everything much more simpler. So in Fund 9, we've expanded our scope and are focusing on 7 proposals, in addition to our collaboration proposal with Sustainable ADA. With these 7 proposals, what we're focusing on, aside from the development, is making the technology, the organizational stuff, as simple and as approachable as possible. What does that mean? We all have Discord servers. We all hate Discord. Discord is not working for us, but we kind of have to work with it. So this is a technology issue that we're trying to approach and make it simpler for everyone else. That means getting everyone to use these tools like Discord, like Miro, like Zoom, like solving problems with these tools such that we don't have barriers to entry. We want to lower those barriers. And these proposals are all about that. So if you're involved in using these technologies, if you know a little bit about these technologies, if you think you know better than most other people, that is great. We want that knowledge in Littlefish so that we can spread that knowledge across Catalyst. That is what we're doing with these proposals, some of it at least. We're also focusing on creating our own technology called Actions, which is very difficult to get into in a few minutes. So I'll just skip that for now. And we are working on token engineering, more like learning token engineering, because it is an incredibly deep field that needs special attention. So if you're interested in token engineering, we're hosting a learning cohort starting in October. If you're interested in that, I'll drop a link for the Google form. But the reason I'm here today is our collaboration with C4C. One of the problems that we faced early on and are still facing is the issue of onboarding into these decentralized communities. And I've seen this problem in so many different communities. Everyone is kind of having a different approach, but not many people are actually actively trying to solve it. So that's what we're trying to do. And we have a unique solution. Next slide, please. So one of our proposals is called Ikigai in Community. Now, Ikigai is this Japanese concept. It means a reason for being. And we've kind of taken this concept and kind of perverted it for our own purposes. So we use it in this very small context. It's Ikigai, your reason for being in C4C. So what we're doing is we're going to be creating a self-onboarding platform on Miro for C4C, where anyone who's interested in C4C can come in and self-onboard using this Miro board. They can go through all the information that is available there and then find roles, responsibilities, tasks, needs that exist in C4C that really resonates with you. Ikigai means a reason for being, and the version of it we're using, it boils it down to 4 things. It means doing what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. So you bring those things together within the context of C4C, and you immediately know how you can help out in C4C and what is needed in C4C. So we have this onboarding system up and going in Littlefish. We had lots of success with it. Immediately, once individuals have done this, their Ikigais, they were able to identify needs within the Littlefish Foundation that they could come in and just hop on board and participate and contribute that. So we want to spread this out, starting with C4C, our very good friends. And then in this process, we're going to turn this into a software and share it with the entire Catalyst and blockchain community. And hopefully this will solve the big onboarding problem that we have in these communities. Thank you. That's all for me. I'll drop some links to the chat about Littlefish. If you're interested, please hop on.
Say, that's all from me. And it's sort of like, wow. You know, Shakan, Littlefish Group have been working on this in the background, solving these issues of finding what you love. Shakan, what's the Kiva Littlefish connection? What's that about?
So once the way we got started was in Fund 7. What we wanted to do with this group, with you, Melanie, with Yoram, Nori, Simon, and many others, what we wanted to do was create this DAO that solves problems like Kiva. We wanted to create a Kiva-like DAO. We wanted to fund sustainable development goals, entrepreneurship, activism. We created a proposal, kind of worked out in a few days. It didn't fall through. But we kept working in that time. We kind of fulfilled some of our KPIs. We did some manual donation funding, and we realized that didn't quite work. But we got our hands dirty with sustainable development goals activism, and then from there we kind of noticed we already have problems in this space, in decentralized workspace, that we can solve here, and then apply those learnings to solving sustainable development goals issues. What we want to do with the technology that we're creating is first solve the problems here in decentralized work, and then apply those learnings elsewhere, because the technology we're creating will be general. We want all of it to be used in those contexts. So one day you will have the Littlefish platform being used to clean beaches and then earn money from that, earn money from doing good for fixing public goods, let's say.
I just wanted to bring that up because it's part of our story, you know, part of our history. You know, Charles, his goal is to create a Kiva-like platform on Cardano. And this is what Littlefish grabbed. And from there's been different iterations. Things have broken, lacked documentation, differed greatly. But we're in this safe and lively environment to reach the highest potential in human collaboration. And we're working towards that. So, you know, your ongoing work is absolutely amazing and greatly appreciated. So there's some proposals in the chat. I believe I put them in there to support and to look at, and the things that resonate with you, vote for them, connect with them, and also connect, because you have meetings Mondays. Yoram, we're just about ready to start the slide deck again too. Meetings on Mondays. How can people connect with you otherwise, Shakan?
Meetings every second Monday. I'm going to drop a link in the chat, which is a link tree. Everything you need is there. We're mostly active on Discord, so hop on Discord and just go through the process. Tell us what is working on our Discord. We try to guide you through, but you know, Discord is Discord. So
perfect.
Just come and say hi.
Thank you. Very welcoming community. So other proposals that we want to highlight, we have several proposals. Challenges are different. As some of you may know, we need to pick a challenge that our proposal is going to fit in, meet the metrics, the KPIs, and shift our proposals around to fit the challenges. Cardano4Climate, back again since Fund 6, Yoram, next slide, is Climate Change the Challenge, $500,000 challenge, climate specific proposals. Would make our job a lot easier finding them all in one, and we as the challenge team would help support this group in here. Next slide, please. Yoram, could you speak to the next one, Entrepreneurship Challenge? And you're on mute.
Sorry. No, it's good. I love this challenge. I mean, again, it's part of what Cardano4Climate is doing. As you all know, we are trying to onboard impact-related proposal companies and leaders, just like Elise and Littlefish and many others, and Seedstars and Goodwall and many others. And so we said, let's have a challenge for that. I mean, we need more and more impact entrepreneurs, and as an opportunity for Cardano. Again, what we do here, we are starting to present it as an opportunity for Cardano, right? And this is probably the area where a lot of money needs to come in, and a lot of, so we need great entrepreneurs and to support them and connect the blockchain with what these great entrepreneurs are doing. So that's what the purpose of this challenge.
Perfect. And the next challenge, if you wouldn't mind sharing the screen again. Our voter pick list shows that if we voted for all the 200 proposals, we're over budget. This next challenge put in, at least this time, I had enough time to think it through and write it differently. With the help of Dan, some relation to the SDGs. It's a work in progress. And the first iteration is hoping to create a model within this experiment, a model of collaboration, where we actually come under budget within this challenge. We meet together, we stop reinventing the wheel all over the place, all over different challenges. We come together. Proposals in here will be self-sustaining. We're going to take seed fund. Like my tomatoes, I can plant one seed and produce, 20, 30 tomatoes with seeds, enough for a community. We want to encourage proposals like this so that we can actually show an example of not only sustainability, but actually making things better. Including Project Catalyst. We're hearing all sorts of grumbling about this and that not working. What if we actually went back to the basics and learned how to collaborate? So this challenge, it's $250,000 challenge. I believe it's an opportunity. We believe it's an opportunity for Cardano. And if you click on that once more, it's also an opportunity for us as impact-driven individuals to create this model and show how we can collaborate and go forward. Next slide, please, Yoram. So in the coming months, tomorrow, next slide, Latam Mini Impact Fest, 2130. Daniel, would you like to speak to this a little bit?
Yes. So we are hosting one of the last town halls before we go into voting. I think there's over 200 projects in the list that are building on impact, and a lot of them are in the region of Latin America, and we want to offer a space so proposers feel comfortable speaking in their own language and transmit that passion. We're also opening an English-speaking breakout room, so anyone feel free to use this opportunity to promote your proposal one last time before we go into voting. And well, we'll have people from Emurgo talking, the LATAM community speaking, us from Metera also hosting the space. And yeah, we have over 9 proposals in Spanish right now, and a lot more trying to join. So thank you very much. I hope to see you tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you for picking this up. It's been really neat to work with you coming in and helping support event planning and making this happen. Next slide, please, Yoram.
Just to throw something in before Way of Council, since we're talking about LATAM and Mini Impact Fest, it would be great. We have a C4C Africa and C4C Eastern Town Hall in Fund 9. For Fund 10, we should definitely work on a C4C LATAM and really start to expand what we're doing around the globe. Just to throw
well,
that
even Jose from Ada Solar and his project, you know, why don't we know about more of that in Cardano4Climate? We're disconnected, but we're becoming more connected. And this year has been a lot of hard work, but I think we're going to start seeing, it's like, you know, planting your garden the first few years. We're going to start seeing some harvest and some produce from this. Nori, over to you.
All right, Way of Council. So at our working team meeting yesterday, we talked about introducing a new practice called Way of Council. And I created this document describing the Cardano4Climate Community Council. And it really just introduces a method of really engaging and listening from the heart as a practice to help build community, improve communications, and make sure that people are kind of on the same page and engaging from the right mindsets. So this is a practice, and it's called practice because we get better and better at it the more we do it. And it's just in brief, it's generally done in person. It's a little different when it's virtual, but in person, basically there's a talking stick or something. Here locally, I have this talking stone that I use, and this stone has heard a lot of conversations over time. And the person holds the stick or stone, and then when they have it, they can speak. And there are 4 intentions at Way of Council. One is to speak from the heart. So you really share what's coming up for you in a fearless, kind of courageous way. And then the second intention is to listen from the heart. So especially in an online environment, we remind people turn off social media, shut down email, shut down Discord, Telegram, just be fully present so that you can show up and bear witness to what other people are sharing from their heart. The third intention, actually, let me go to the doc so I don't skip any, is being lean in expression, which really means take up as much space as you need to say what you need to say, but no more. A lot of people, we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to speak, and a really nice circle goes around several times. So don't monopolize the whole time, just say what needs to be said and then pass the stone. Fourth intention is spontaneity. Don't be planning what you're going to say as people go around. That kind of takes away from your ability to be present, bear witness, and listen. So when you get the stone, really speak at that moment what's coming up for you. And then we have a fifth kind of one is confidentiality. So these circles are generally not recorded. We're trying to create a safe space where people can share and build trust and connection with one another. So confidentiality is a big one. What's spoken in circles shouldn't be brought up outside of circle or shared with other people unless the person who's sharing gives explicit permission to do so. And then, of course, there are things that will break confidentiality if we're required morally or ethically as a group to report on something that may be dangerous to somebody or a crime or something. But aside from that, things should remain private. So those are the basic mechanisms. The current proposal is to do it on a monthly cadence. We may do it at the community meeting, or we may set up a special time so that we're not pressured by other things to go through the process. So that's still evolving, but this is something that I think would be a really excellent tool to help build community and let us engage at a deeper level with one another, because we're doing really important work. And I think it's really great to have mechanisms in place where we can really share and connect at a deep level. So that's kind of way of counsel in a nutshell. The document is shared here in chat if you want to take a look at it in more detail. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm happy to talk about it.
And there's a chance that we might just do a little practice run next week at our C4C, right? Nori, just build on this, and then, depending on how many people we have, work this, take it off recording, practice run, and keep iterating on this. Because, one thing that I actually missed from the very beginning of C4C is when we only had a few people coming, and then it's like, well, where are you from? And there was a much deeper connection. So this is going to be a way to briefly bring that connection back in. So I believe the community was actually built on those connections, those deeper connections. And we miss that when we get to 300 and 400 people. Yeah. So thank you for this initiative. And we're going to go over to Cole to speak to why Cardano4Climate.
So yeah, hey everyone. So yeah, it's been like a year now. It's our birthday, or our birthday was really recently. And we decided that it could be a good time to reflect on why we're here in the Cardano community and why especially we're here in the Cardano4Climate community. So we've created a Google form, actually. I'll drop it in the chat. And this is to allow everyone to kind of reflect about their experiences through Cardano and why they're here in the Cardano4Climate community. And we're going to compile a video with everyone's responses. And then we're going to create kind of a reel that kind of highlights all of our community members. And oh, thanks for dropping that, Melanie. And once we get those responses and everyone's videos and kind of why they're here, we'll compile a video and hopefully make that shortly.
Is there a deadline?
So do we have to worry about it? Yeah, deadline, and do we have to worry about a 30-minute polished presentation? What's this all about, Cole?
So yeah, this is pretty much just about like why we're really here, like why we want to be in the Cardano community and be in C4C. And it's a good opportunity to kind of like highlight all the different members and kind of their different perspectives and where they came from and kind of how we're all like kind of a global force of good and how we all kind of come together and make a C4C.
And the video is how long?
Oh, and we're looking for like 15 to 30-second responses. And
yeah, so it's just really short and sweet. It's almost like sharing the stone or sharing the stick and having that opportunity to answer some questions on that form. Nora, you had a question. Deadline?
Is there a deadline? When do you want these video clips? And
we haven't created a deadline, but maybe like we'll give people a couple weeks to do it, just a little bit of time, and then I'll I'll put a deadline on the form. And I also am gonna make a video today of myself doing it, so anyone who's like a little bit confused can just watch that and kind of replicate it.
And then this also works towards Cardano Summit. We can do this, we're doing this over the next month, working on this, building these tools, these representations of impact within Project Catalyst, within Cardano. And we can actually present this to IO or Cardano Foundation and say, look, this is what's happening in your community. And rather than them having to do the work. Yoram.
No, 100%, and I agree. I think that's the importance of that. That's the importance of bringing 200 impact projects together. So it's important obviously for us as projects and so on, but also important to show to the ecosystem and to Cardano IOG and to the foundation of that, the community they have here, and and why we are here basically, right? And that gives pressure on them to to continue and focus on why we are here.
A good pressure. And if you imagine that 15-second video on YouTube lost somewhere in the attention, in all this other fuzz that we hear, imagine if we do have 200, 300 of those put together, 10 to 30 seconds each, that adds up. And then all of a sudden you make these connections, these real heart-to-heart connections. Thanks for this work, Cole. And I think we're on to the next slide, if I'm not mistaken. So just threw this calendar in, it needs help. I spent quite a bit of time on this yesterday, hoping that I could find some sort of visual representation of what's going on. Pacific Town Hall's missing, all these different things, but you can see this month coming up is filling up. And it's not to take away attention from stuff that you need to do or to feel this FOMO, this fear of missing out, just to know that these things are happening and you can drop in whenever you can, whenever your heart leads you to drop into these things. Latam meetup is tomorrow. Africa Town Hall happens every 2 weeks on Fridays. Ours is weekly on Wednesdays. We have C4C GTPBL. We'll talk to that a little bit in a second. Lead Generator is also doing some meetings too. And then we're planning another event in September. The date is kind of flexible. We've got November 4th, maybe some collaboration with Elise. Cardano Summit comes up November 18th, 19th, and 20th, I believe, or somewhere around there. So we're working towards those, looking forward thinking. Next slide, please. So there we are. We're forming an impact tribe for the Cardano Summit, November 19th to 21. Last year, I got caught off guard. I don't know if anybody else did, but it's sort of like I had no idea about the Veritree project, the Cardano Neutral Climate group, considering the carbon footprint. Since then, we've connected. But this time, impact is coming from the ground up to the Cardano Summit. And I think it's going to be a pretty powerful, solid voice and solid heart coming into meeting up with Cardano's mission to make the world work better for all. And then next slide is our bounties. And Nori, that's over to you again.
All right. For our bounty experiment, we're working with the Gimbal Labs token PBL experiment. We have a tranche of gimbals that we've been given. So we're looking at ways of utilizing G-Work. It's not the most perfect of tools, but it's what we have right now. And it's pretty well adopted by different areas like Swarm and the PA group, and even it looks like Littlefish is starting to use it. So it's kind of the tool that people are using right now until we have better alternatives. But we are experimenting with creating bounties for various different things and rewarding gimbals for participation. We also have 6 funded proposals and a little bit of a treasury. So we're using the same mechanism to incentivize administrative and core work that goes on and organizing and keeping this whole thing moving. We have funding to help that. So if you want to join in earn some gimbals, earn some ADA. There's lots of opportunities there. We meet every Friday. I don't know what time it is in UTC, but we meet and discuss things. And
3
if you
p.m.
want,
UTC.
3 p.m. UTC. Thank you, Melanie. And then if you want to contribute, participate in any way, join us there. And definitely take a look at our DWork server. I'll drop a link here in a sec. Looks like somebody already has. And if you want to practice, looks like there's already a bounty for today. So click on the link and go through. And just as a note, the DWork stuff is also tied into our Discord server, so you can see all the bounty stuff happening on Discord if you just want to stick to one tool. So that's another great place to take a look. But that's it. If you have questions, let me know, reach out. Happy to help.
So maybe we can just stop share for a second. I did do a screenshot, and Yoram, you would be able to refresh your slide deck, and maybe that'll come up. If we just come off screen or onto video for just a second for a little wave, it's part of our DWork bounty, showing who's here. And yeah, in case you want to do that. So see if we can get that off. Yeah. Oh, so always so good to see your face. And Shakan Pavon, welcome. Juanita must be busy. Show faces, show your faces. Mohammed, nice to see you. Mohammed, oh, bless your heart. Mohammed's been showing up regularly at our meetings, and I can't wait for that time when you find that ikigai, that moment when you go, this is where I want to be, and this is how I can work. This is how I can sustain, you know, what I'm doing. So really looking forward to it. Mohammed has a great proposal I didn't know about. I found these 200 proposals, and thankfully I went to Africa Town Hall and I came across Mohammed's proposal, missed on that list. So that list is not perfect, but anyways, here we are. Ben, nice to see your face and welcome, because this is your first time coming, right? Yeah, so awesome. And Lucas, you're a very familiar face from Gimbal Labs yesterday. So I'm going to just do a quick little screenshot, and let's get maybe a wave. Hang on a second. I have to exit that because, hang on, do the wave. My computer's a little bit slow. So wave. Yeah, there we go. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Oh, I've got something going on here. I'm feeling a little, okay, keep going. Do it again. This is like cheese. Hang on. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. I'm so nervous right now. Hang on, just a sec here. Something started again. Hang on, I'm still, keep waving, keep cheesing. Okay, here we go.
Melanie, you can do it. Okay.
This time it's gonna work.
Woohoo!
Okay, I think I got it.
I took one. I took one.
I
also,
hope I got
so
it. I'm gonna try it and see if it goes into the next one. But
that's good.
anyways, thank you for that, and we'll see if it actually worked or not. What did we get? No, same thing. Anyways, you know what?
I got you.
Maybe we'll
I
be able
got
to get
you.
that. Oh, good. Okay, good.
All right.
Woo. Technology kind of gets me sometimes. So we're going into 20 after the hour already, and we normally have an action plan figured out for you, figured out for the community. And I just maybe thought this time we sit back and go, okay, what's the action plan? What's coming up for you as part of the Cardano4Climate community? What do you see as being something that you're going to do or want to do or whatever? What's the to-do today? And yes, Daniel, we will see you tomorrow at the Latam Town Hall. I will present a regeneration opportunity for Cardano. Neen will be there as well, who's another amazing human being from Snapbrilia. What do we got? What are we doing? What are we doing going forward?
No, I think, I mean, again, first of all, it's great to see Ben today. Welcome. And, you know, today is quite a lot of information. And if you want to share a little bit about yourself for next time, that's a pleasure. And while you are here, I mean, the objective is to welcome everyone. So that for me is.
Why next time? Let's do it this
no,
time.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Please.
just do it. Ben, how did you end up here and what brought you here? This is our action. Let's just do it.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I'm here because I became quite interested in Cardano over the last few months. And I'm in Belgium. I'm also active with the Green Party. And so yes, the climate is close to my heart, and so I was interested in the things you do.
And did you just show up off of Meetup? Is that how you connected with us, or how did you find us?
I came to the town hall 2 weeks ago, and then I discovered the Meetup, and so I came to you.
Beautiful. I'm
Great.
actually
Welcome.
I'm going to drop some links. It's the Cardano4Climate links in case you don't have them already. Telegram, Discord, Twitter.
Yes, I think I follow you. I follow you on all platforms at the moment.
Too much.
No, I mean, so for one of the objective for us is for the Ikigai project that we want for the onboarding, is that even new people coming on board can actually say what they like and what they love to do and what they're good at, and to be able to connect faster, basically, to actually be part of the community. I mean, the objective here is really to welcome everyone, and everyone is part of the community to then drive his interest within the community, like Littlefish, like regenerative agriculture, or more of action in LATAM, or whatever it is. So yeah, so that's part of the goal of implementing now the Ikigai from Littlefish. And yeah, so welcome on board, and you're already part of it, and help to drive what you want, and how we can help you also with your work in Belgium, which sounds very important as a community. Yeah.
Definitely. So just, I think we're going to wrap up pretty soon. We won't go into breakout rooms today. We'll just leave this at that, and then maybe, you know, we can just do something like sharing from the heart, and what's important to you, where you're at, what do you see coming forward. Yeah, it's kind of hard to be asked that, especially when you're sitting and listening to me the whole time.
How do you feel after 1 year, Melanie?
How do I feel? Thank you for that question. Actually, I'm very optimistic. And, you know, you mentioned that yesterday, that, you know, how you want to focus on certain things. I've got the start. Nori's seen it. Nori was here visiting, and he saw this part way of a foundation dug out for my straw bale studio, with straw bales, earthen plaster, earthen countertops, earthen floor, passive solar, off-grid little experiment that I'm doing, plus our little forest and tomato seeds. And with this work with Littlefish, I'm really looking forward to that point where I can say, I can let go of those things. I spent all day yesterday working on the slide deck, because it's not my area of Ikigai, and it takes me a lot longer to do this. So when I can say, you know, someone else that really wants to do this and do this, take it over. And it's kind of scary, because it's sort of like this, just do it. But Cardano4Climate has been that. You think of something, just do it. Go ahead. We don't ask permission from somebody. I get direct messages from people that say, should I do this? And says, absolutely, just do it. You know, if it's in your heart, just do it. But it's a really scary place to be, because we're not used to that. We're used to having, you know, rules and top-down management. So hopefully we can kind of, this year coming up, really become a lot more decentralized and find ways that people can find their ikigai. And maybe I'll be able to start my studio. I got the bales, I got the dirt, I got the know-how. I've been studying it for 15, 20 years. It's probably about time that I did something. So I'm feeling optimistic that we can do both. Keep Cardano4Climate going strong and alive, and also do the boots on the ground work. Sorry, that was a little bit long.
No, I 100% agree. If we're able to show people that to join and they are becoming part of it and decentralize it, and that people just fly and get the support of the ecosystem, I really think that will be incredible.
And one thing that maybe people don't know, that challenge, climate change, the challenge. I was at a town hall and Dor was speaking, and he says, "You got a crazy idea, just put it in." And that first challenge we wrote in, I was writing it until 2 o'clock in the morning to get that challenge in, because I had been looking at idea scale. I saw all this disconnection, and it's like, how can we bring these together? Well, let's put this crazy idea of a challenge in, put it in, and here we are, 300, 400 strong. So you got a crazy idea, something in your heart, burning in your heart, feel free to do it, because you don't know where that's going to go. So I don't want to be the last one speaking though here, because I've been speaking a lot.
Sorry, you're the last one today, or someone else, or whoever, or Ben, or Cole, or whoever.
I'm just so thankful for
Juanita.
the whole Cardano4Climate community and everyone for being here and celebrating this amazing 1 year.
Yeah, I second that. It's so great to see so many faces here, new ones and old ones. The OG crew still here, still working hard. So thanks everybody for your commitment and all the hard work. It's been an amazing year. We've been through a lot. We've done a lot. Look at our social media stuff. We're like 300 plus people in some of our channels. It's really amazing that so many people care, and there are so many impact related projects in Catalyst. So I'm really looking forward to what we can do in year 2. So yeah, happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday.
So maybe what we can do, because Yoram started this before the meeting, he started singing happy birthday, and it's like, oh, Yoram, please, please, please don't. Can we sing happy birthday to us?
Yeah,
Would
let's
that
do
be
it.
okay? And if you've got a different language, feel free to sing that along with it as well. So you have to come off mute, and I'll wait till I see the bulk of us coming off mute. Shakan, if you know happy birthday in Turkish, that would be amazing.
I will do French.
French,
Let's do it.
Spanish,
Espanol.
Shakan,
Portuguese here as well.
Portuguese. Okay, is it the same tune at least?
Yeah.
Okay, and who can, in my family, unless my brother started us on happy birthday, we were all over the place. Okay, somebody's got a dog. I like that. We could start on that note, but somebody has to start us on the right note. So who's a musical here? Anybody?
I think it's Lucas. Yeah.
Lucas?
Just a little bit, but it depends a bit from male to female voices.
That's okay. I can go deep or I can go high.
So I'm gonna start in Portuguese then. Is that it? Yeah.
We're doing it all together.
Ready?
All together, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Parabéns a você nesta muitas
Yep. Woo! Gotta do that one too. Awesome. So we started with music and we ended with almost a dirge. With
I've done a lot
music.
of things in Catalyst and all in Cardano communities, but it's the first time someone made me sing. So cheers for that.
Awesome. There's always a first time for everything. So with that being said, we're at half past the hour, half an hour to Project Catalyst Town Hall. Let's call it a day. And thank you so much for joining this party with us. We say Cardano4Climate is us. So it's not, it's all of us. We are who we've been waiting for. So thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Feliz
everybody.
cumpleaños. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy birthday.